Good morning, Cardinals. How are you this morning? I hope you're having a really good day today so far. I know the weather's going to be a little rainy, so you might have to stay in, but hopefully it'll rain and stop quickly and you can get back outside. I hope you're spending a lot of good, fun time outside in the beautiful sunshine and enjoying our spring. I miss you. I still miss you. I hoped that we would be able to be together before the end of the year, but if not, I'll look very forward to seeing you with lots of fun things to do when we do get to go back to school. I wanted to share a story with you this morning. This is a super cute book, and it's called Julia's House for Lost Creatures. And basically, Julia just gets a little bored. I guess you might could understand what that feels like since you've been at home for a while. But she gets a little bored and she decides she's going to liven things up a little bit by collecting some, well, not so usual creatures that may or may not have anywhere to live. So she's going to try this little adventure and see what happens, and we're going to enjoy it with her. The author of this story is Ben Hatke, and he wrote this book. He has a little girl, and I think that she indeed likes to collect all kinds of little creatures from outside. Maybe not these little creatures, but maybe some like we see in our yards. Maybe a couple frogs or lizards or something like that. So let's see what Julia gets into in this story. Julia's House for Lost Creatures. Here's our title page. Okay, it's kind of a long book. I mean, physically long. I want to make sure you can see it. It says, Julia's house came to town and settled by the sea. And I don't know if you can see Julia's house or not, but it's sitting on the back of a really large tortoise. So she came to town and settled by the sea, and all the house was quiet. It was too quiet for Julia. So Julia ran to her workshop. She got out her tools and her paints and went to work. She made a sign. What do you think her sign says? Maybe all creatures welcome? Let's see. It says Julia's House for Lost Creatures. And then she waited. She didn't have to wait for long. All of a sudden, there was a scratch on the door. The sign worked. Patched up Kitty came to stay, and it was nice to have a friend, even if he wasn't like other kittens. Oh, he had some bobos, and they had to wrap his little bobos up, and he stayed with Julia. And there he is, trying to climb up the wall. Goodness. Before long, there was another knock at the door. It went boom, boom, boom. What do you think's knocking boom, boom, boom? Oh my word. It was a very sad troll. There was a tiny little bird sitting on the top of the troll's head. The city had torn down his bridge, and he asked if he could please stay. Just until he could get back on his feet, he said. Julia had just settled the troll into her best chair when there was another knock. There were also scrapes, scratches, whines, bangs, barks, and bellows. Oh my goodness. She opened the door and found quite a few friends. Soon Julia's house was filling up with lost and homeless creatures of every kind and description. They asked for towels and soap, tea and toast. There they are taking a bath in her bathtub. Goodness, I don't even know what some of these are. They're types of birds. There's the troll. They had ideas of their own. They spilled things and they did not clean up their mess. And then the troll found Julia's old record player. Stop, shouted Julia. Everybody stop. The creatures stopped what they were doing and stood shuffling their guilty feet. Julia ran to her workshop and closed the door. She stayed in there for a long time. It said, "Do not disturb" on her door. She did not want to be bothered. When she finally came out, Julia had a new sign. Now everyone had a job to do. It was Julia's house chore chart. Oh my goodness. And let me see. Some of the creatures had to do the dishes. Some of them had to make lunches and tea. Some of them had to clean the floors. She was planning on keeping them busy. Well, these pages are sticking. There we go. The dragon made toast, and the mermaid washed the dishes. The Folletti tended the fire, the goblins mopped up, the ghost was in charge of dusting, and the troll picked out the music. So they each had some responsibilities. At last, there was a warm fire and tea and toast for everyone. And all the house was quiet again, except whoosh, drip, 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 creak. So Julia got out of bed and made one more sign. She put it up outside the door, and then she waited. Tap, 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 tap. She didn't have to wait for long. The sign she put on the outside of the door said, "Help wanted. Repairs, odd jobs, and plumbing." And here comes a friend. Look at this friend. He's got all kinds of tools. He looks like a robot, ready to help her fix all of the problems in her house, so they could all live happily ever after. So Julia got bored, and she decided she needed some company. I don't know whether you've been bored at home or whether you've been staying busy. I know you've been with your family a lot and having a lot of good, fun family time. Sometimes we have brothers and sisters, and sometimes we get on each other's nerves and we don't get along that well. And we have to have some quiet time to ourselves, and that's perfectly okay. So take your quiet time, and then make sure that when you come out, you're ready to help and do your part to make this time fun and enjoyable, and just kind of have your own little responsibilities at your house that you do to help, so that everybody has a job to do and everybody stays busy and happy. It was good to see you this morning, and we'll have another story next week. So stay tuned to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you next week. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I love and miss you very much. Goodbye.